Welcome back to Johnny Custom Glock's front sight press.
Oh.
Easy there. Seriously again? Seriously.
I had it on silent.
Every week. Every week.
Well,
you do this.
Nyland doesn't call you anymore, so I've got to harass you somehow.
He called me last week.
Not on the show.
He's like, yeah.
Oh, that's right, he did. That's right.
Are you guys all done?
What? I ain't called you yet.
Not me.
Is that you?
Huh?
All right. So like a chair, like a chair, like a chair. We're giving away a seriously badass case tonight. Holy crap.
Yeah. It's my favorite case, I want you to know.
Why are you giving it away then?
Because nobody brought another one.
So we're giving this away. Then I'll have to buy Julie another one.
Yeah.
All right? Like, this is ridiculous.
I know, I love it.
Like a chair, man.
Well, look at that.
Maybe I can win it. Okay.
I was going to say.
I don't know how to get it open.
The thing's foolproof, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so anyways, I'm not going to... Trust me.
Austin, come fix this.
Holy crap. They got foam in it?
I don't remember. I haven't looked in it in a while.
That thing's a tank.
I know.
That's pretty cool. So anyways, like a chair, like a chair, like a chair. All right. Spradley,
Mark Schaefer's on.
what up? Schaefer was here last week. Oh, well, you know that. So anyways, okay, we're going to give that away. We're going to start giving away a lot of stuff with the Travi Mack Foundation. We got guns that are donated. We got a case that somebody actually donated, so we can raffle that off, Nancy, right? So what we'll do is we're going to start giving away some cool stuff. People start giving us stuff for the Travi Mack Foundation, so we'll figure out how to do tickets for that. But like a chair, like a chair, like a chair, because I am probably going to go off, because even in the green room I couldn't handle just talking to you for 2 seconds without wanting to run outside and grab somebody and punch him in the head.
Fernando's on. Hey, Kathy Kemp is on.
Nice. So it's got a little bit of foam in it. All right. Awesome. Got it all for me. Thanks.
It's like a
Do not
treasure
close
chest.
this thing on my fingers. All right, go ahead. Don't close them on your fingers either. You need them to win more divisions.
I was going to say.
Hey, you got connections at the labor board, because I don't want any hassles
Well, exactly. You don't want
coming
to
in
be,
as like.
workers' comp, eh?
Yeah.
He's an intern.
Child
And,
labour.
yeah, he's interning
Child labour.
/ bartender /
right, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. Keep it up. All right. So, anyways, let's thank the sponsors. What?
Blakey says, oh, I got gas. Ew.
Talking about real gas. I
yeah.
don't even want to get started on that either. So let's thank the sponsors before I start getting too jacked up. All right. So first of all, I'd like to thank our king sponsor, Johnny Custom Glock. All right. Get yourself a Johnny Custom Glock trigger, because life is too short to have a Glock trigger that sucks. So get a real trigger in it. All right. Follow him on YouTube, Johnny Glock, the persona. All right, because you're missing out. If you got a G-Lock and you're not following him, you're missing out on a lot of great information. I cannot say it enough, and it's not because he's our king sponsor. Just want to make sure that we're very professional here.
Well, I
If
was
you
going
haven't
to say,
noticed, so,
the timing's everything.
Yeah. So, all right, check him out. HBC Concealment, best holsters on the planet. All right, that's all that I put my guns in. So, go call Landon, check him out. Get yourself an HBC Concealment holster. He'll make you whatever. Tell me you want a Veritas one. All right, we got the Veritas print ones. He'll throw pictures on it for you, stuff like that. Captain America. That's you.
It is. I like that.
See that? We'll get you one of those. All right, Travi Mack Foundation, if you give money to charity, you should really look into this charity.
Chris Holland says, timing is impeccable.
That's right. All right, so Travi Mack, what they do is the money goes towards music programs for kids that are in the University of Maryland's Children's Hospital who are having bad friggin' days, obviously. All right, and this makes their days a little bit better. So I want you to look at that before you give it to some crappy charity, all right? Give it to a real charity where all the money's going there. All right, srqlivestudios.com. You can come down here in the studio. That's actually Mark's. So, and you can have like two angry giant ass Hulks staring at you while you do your show. All right, but this is the place to be. I'm telling you that. Military case surplus. Tony always hooking us up, except when I'm too lazy to go up there with Julie to get more. So she has to give away her favorite case.
Yeah.
That'll cost me. But anyways,
Oh, yeah.
all right. So go check out them up in Largo in case you have to bury anything. That way you don't have to lose it off a boat. Just saying. All right. And last but not least, Skies and Chaos for letting us use Black Widow to for our theme song. Once again, I'm sad that I got outvoted for Strippers and Jack, which was the original theme song. Just to let you know.
Hey, Reed's on.
Reed.
Hi, honey.
Yeah, know why she's on? Because the scores came out. She found out that she beat me down in
Oh, yeah.
So we both shot. We both shot. Yeah, we at down in Venice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We both shot perfect 250, but she had 22 out of 25 10x right shots to my 17. So she is the winner.
Congrats.
So congratulations, Reed.
Nice job.
All right, it
Beating
was.
the boss.
I don't like to lose, but I'll lose to you. I don't care. That's awesome. Great job. You beat me.
That's terrific. Yeah, we hate to lose.
Yeah, that's where he gets it. He gets it from me. He ain't gonna lose next time.
Nope.
We're working now. He's working. Also, he's putting some effort in tonight. All right. So, one more thing. I want to let you know is that it's next Sunday, not this Sunday, right? It's next Sunday, isn't it?
I don't know. I thought it was this Sunday.
Well, this
Is it
Sunday
this Sunday?
is next Sunday, but anyway.
Which one? Which one? No, it's this Sunday with Jeff's at Take Aim.
I think it's this Sunday.
All right,
Yeah,
so it's this Sunday.
Yep.
All right, where they're doing Ask the Gun Lawyer, so you can show up. They'll give you free food, hang out
At Take Aim, right?
at Take Aim.
Yep.
Sunday, right? This summer, yeah. At Take Aim this Sunday, like it says on the sheet. All right, and go down there, ask them whatever questions you want. All right, are you going to be there this Sunday?
Yes, I probably will. Yeah.
Good.
All right. So, Mara, why don't you explain to them who you are and why you're on the show without getting me too upset?
Yeah, about,
Easy.
Easy, boy. So, you know, I'm running for Congress for District 16 in Florida, which is...
Hold on, it's for you.
Sure, I was going to say, was that Jeff Young?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Jeff, what's the problem? Am I just fidgeting too much? What don't you like? I mean, what is it that you've got a problem? What's that? It's this Sunday. We know that.
We said that.
We said that. This Sunday. No, well, I was aware that when he said next Sunday, that's the same as this Sunday. But yes, we have it. What time? This Sunday coming at 11 o'clock at Take Aim. Well, there you go. So that's hot off the press.
There it
There
is.
you go.
All right,
There
thank
go.
you.
There you go.
And he wants to know where his case is. It's at Take
at
Aim.
Take Aim.
Yeah, so we gotta get it out of the
Crying out loud, let the guests talk. Finally.
So anyway, directions notwithstanding, I'm running in District 16, which is the northern third or so of Sarasota County, from about Nokomis upwards to the Manatee County line, all of Manatee County and the southern portion of Hillsborough County. All congressional districts have about 720,000 people in them, but I'm running in the first place in a primary. We have a congressman, a Republican congressman apparently, Vern Buchanan. He's been in since 2006. He won in 2005. He's not really been challenged ever since. He should have been. And the reason I threw my hat in the ring, crazy as it might be, against a guy with a $250 million fortune, is that no matter how much money you have, you can't unring a bell. He voted several times, but this year, just recently, again, as most of your viewers will know, with Democrats on HB 8. We also all know that that's a backdoor attempt towards registration, which is confiscation, which is everything that turns a constitution 230 years upside down. It's more egregious this time because the Democrats have control of the both houses. So arguably encouraging them at this time and making it easier for them this time might make them and it push them to imagine that they can come and take our guns. Now, from what conversations I've had with you guys, that's going to end very badly for everyone.
That's right.
And I seek to avoid it. And the best way to avoid it is not try to go back and relitigate last year's election and the outcome of that, but to look forward. And in 16 months, 15 months or so from now, August the 23rd of next year, people in District 16 will have a choice whether they want to vote for me as a conservative Republican who will never equivocate on any constitutional right, or whether they want to go with Buchanan and hand your weapons back at the same time. So I think the choice is fairly clear, and I'm comfortable with my position. I think every one of the people that watch your show and everybody that feels this way should pick up the phone tomorrow and call Vern Buchanan and ask him what he's doing, because I sure as hell don't know.
Well, here's the deal. I've always voted for Vern. I'll tell you that right now. But I ain't taking this. I don't think, I just can't take it anymore where he could just stab me like you said. I said stab me in the back. I said, no, he stabbed you in the face. Yeah, pretty much. That's the truth, right?
Absolutely.
And then think that he can get away with just sitting up there and playing the rhino. You know what I mean? Like, I vote two things. I vote the security of this country, and I vote the security of my family.
Sure.
And you know what? He fucked me on that. Oh,
yeah, you owe $1 there. I think he did. And, I came here first time when I was 13 years old in 1979, and I was, I fell in love with America. I went to Disney World. I did all of the stuff. I went to a Howard Johnson's. I thought it was the coolest place. And, 20 years it took me to make my way as an adult all the way over to live here permanently. But it was a dream. And it was a dream because I believed this was the land of the opportunity and the home of the free and the brave. And I knew that we had a constitution that would protect my rights. But what I've seen in the last 20 years or so that I've been here is a pushback on that from the left, to the extent that it's now a conceivable thing that some kind of, and I use the term advisedly because I know it's not a real term, but assault weapon ban and confiscation and everything else that they want. Essentially what they want to do is turn this into Europe, and essentially this is nothing to do with guns, nothing to do with violence. It's to do with control. And we know what happened in Russia with Stalin. We know what happened with Mussolini and with Hitler. We know what Castro did. And now Sleepy Joe's trying to do the same thing.
It's
and
the
he's
same program. They're using the playbook.
Aided and abetted by an alleged Republican. And I think that's the worst thing. I expect, Bernie Sanders to be against it, Amy Klobuchar, AOC. I expect that.
Yep.
I can see them coming. The Trojan horse is a very dangerous thing. That guy that is and sounds and looks like a Republican, except when you're not looking. And what he did on HB8 says to me that he doesn't believe that he's in any position where anything could ever happen against him. Why has nobody run against him? Because they're scared of how much money he's got. But you know what? You actually can't buy the votes. If we get our message out, if we make it crystal clear that not only did he vote against your Second Amendment rights, he also voted to certify an election that many of us had questions on. He also voted against the defense veto bill, which President Trump pushed back against so that he could get to Section 230, which is your whole Facebook censorship and everything else that goes with it. And, Buchanan also voted, one of just 3 Republicans, to stay in the Paris Climate Accord. So I don't know how much more of a resume he needs. He claims to be, or he used to claim to be until I jumped in the race, the most bipartisan Republican in Congress. I think that's a terribly dangerous thing to say in this current world. You're either in or you're out.
That's it.
And as far as I'm concerned, he's made some bad choices that he's going to have to reckon with in 2022.
That's the whole thing with having you on the show. Not that Vern Buchanan even knows who I am, or actually gives a shit.
No.
All right? But my thing is this. Like, I'm upset, and this is my way of throwing a temper tantrum, and I'm going to freaking ride this wave as far as I can. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell as many people as I can, and I'm going to tell them what he did and what he's done, and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of all the friggin' idiots in the friggin' swamp thinking that they can just run over us. You know?
It was never meant to be a place to spend your life. You know, the idea of politics as a career was never conceived by the founding fathers. You know, these people turned up for a few weeks a year when the Congress was in session to settle things that would unify the states, and then they went back to their farms or to their businesses. The idea was never that they would all stay in one place and separate themselves from the people. You know, D.C. obviously wasn't even there when we started off with our Constitution, but you know, it was a swamp. That was the whole point. And that's the irony of the term. Why would anybody want to spend a year down there? Nobody would have done. There was nothing there. But what's happened over the last couple of 100 years is it's reached and become a place within a place. It's not a real place. If you go to D.C., it's the ultimate company town. And Vern Buchanan wouldn't know you if you sat on his lap, because Vern Buchanan is an elitist. Not to criticize him being rich. He's just an elitist like everybody that's been in the swamp for 20 or 25 years. They think the whole world revolves around D.C. D.C. is simply there as a function. It's meant to allow us to live our lives. It's not meant to control our lives. And the worst case scenario, imagine how arrogant to turn around to you and say that you can't defend your family in the means or the method that you choose to. We're going to give you a gun with a flag that pops out, send a social worker. You know, we're not up against people that, you know, are going to play nice. We're up against criminals and psychotics. And exactly what do they think would happen if they took the guns from law-abiding citizens? The criminals will still have them. And all that would happen is that you would be at risk and your family would be at risk. And so I don't think it's even funny. I think it's an absolutely shocking outrage, and I think he should answer for it. And he really hasn't. You know, every time thousands of people went on his page and criticized him for it, and, you know, Vern doesn't deign to type any responses himself, but he's kept very, very quiet about it. I'm going to tell you, for the next 16 months, all he's going to hear from me is, why did you vote with Democrats on HBA? And it's all you should say, and it's all anybody should say. Because it's all that matters, because at the end of the day, that is what makes America great, and what will make America continue to keep America safe is the right to bear arms. You take that away, and you're just another piss poor, excuse me, is that a dollar? Piss poor European nation.
Oh yeah, it's just the F-bomb.
The F-bomb. We'll avoid that.
You could probably sneak some bloodies in there, though.
Well, you know.
But you're right, though. You're right about like who we are if you take it away from us, right? It's the same thing, and it's like, I don't need it. I don't want to live in a socialist country. I don't want to live with Marxism. I don't want to live in any of this crap they're trying to jam down our friggin' throats right now. All right? And you know what? You can't have my guns. I lost them all anyways. They fell off the boat. Well, so anyways, but you couldn't have them if I didn't. How's that? So comply that, you know, and I'm just not going to deal with it.
I was at the Sarasota Gun Show last weekend. Jeff Young kindly came and sat with me for a little bit.
You got to get better friends.
Well, I understand that, and I'm hoping and working towards that. I'm hoping to be able to disown him very soon.
Yeah, but his daughter's awesome, so.
Oh, no, she is.
No,
she's fantastic. She came on, and she was absolutely brilliant, and actually was a much more intelligent conversation.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
I know, exactly. So she is tremendous. But the gun show was just interesting because, although I don't sound the same, I consider myself an honorary redneck. You know, I can't help my accent, and you know.
From New Jersey, aren't you?
Exactly. But what I love is engaging with people that have, you know, real needs and real feelings, and they're all upset. Those that know about it, they're all upset at something that's so fundamental. It's no different, frankly, than me turning around to you and saying, okay, well, you believe in Christianity, but you're going to have to be a Muslim as of Tuesday week.
Right.
It's wildly inappropriate. You don't want a gun, don't buy a gun. You don't want to defend yourself. You think that the cops will come in time, knock yourself out. But as far as I'm concerned, I got my gun, it's in a safe place, I know how to use it, and someone comes through the front door, they're playing literal Russian roulette with their lives, and they know that. And that's what keeps you safe. People say, well, there's not an awful lot of home invasions. That's because they know we've got guns. What do you think would happen if we knew we didn't have guns? What do you think anybody that lived proximate to an inner city? These people would be in your house every single night.
It's like this. when was the last fire in a school?
There aren't that many.
Nope.
Have you ever heard of a fire in a school since you've been here?
Not many, no.
All right. What do they have all the time at schools? What do they do?
Fire
drills.
drills, yes.
Why?
Well, just in case.
Just in case what? There probably hasn't been a fire in a school in like 50 years because everything is fire retardant.
To create fear, to
Well, you got to practice. Oh, you got to have it. You got to have it. Just in case. What happens if there was a fire?
Sure.
Well, I'm just saying, what happens if somebody breaks into my house? Well, that's different. Why? Because you want control.
Yes.
That's it. We have fire extinguishers. People say, oh, do you really need it? Do you need a fire extinguisher? Do you plan on your house burning down? No. Why do you have a fire extinguisher? Well, just in case. Oh, thank you. It's the same crap. Like this. My other thing is this. I don't like peas. All right. There's very few things that I don't eat. I don't like peas. I don't like, gallina, like the Colombian hard chicken or whatever it is, right? I don't like it. I'll eat anything else. I've been all over the world, eat anything else. But you know what I don't do? I don't go stand outside of a restaurant and tell them they can't serve peas because I don't like them. Like, if you don't like guns, whatever. Like, don't get one, all right? Die. That's your choice. You have the choice to friggin' let some scumbag come into your house and kill you and your family. That's your choice. It's an option. All right? But don't tell me I can't defend my family because you're a friggin' pansy and wouldn't stand up for them anyways. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But that's exactly the problem, is that you've got a guy living in a $10 million mansion with a 100-foot boat and another 45-foot boat, which is all well and good, living out there behind the gates of the Longboat Key Club. I dare say when he's up in D.C., they have plenty of security, and he probably feels relatively safe. It's been a long time since Vern Buchanan felt any physical threat or impending fear. And Vern claims to be a supporter of the Second Amendment and a gun owner. Now, I don't know whether that's true or whether it's not true. Maybe. Maybe he'll need it one day, because maybe someday someone will turn up there and ask a few questions of him to his face. The fact is that this is basic. It's constitutional. It's not a question of wanting to go and be able to shoot anything up for any reason. It's a question of underpinning your opportunity to have free speech. It's a question of saying to people that, no, we trust people. We trust people to do the right thing. We certainly and should never trust government. That was the whole point of the separation. That's why you've got the three branches of government. The whole point was that they knew that you couldn't trust people when they had power. We all know the phrase, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And the minute you start handing these rights over to people, the assumption that they'll put your needs ahead of theirs is terribly mistaken. Terribly mistaken. So I think that's, I was brought up a Catholic, and I was told that there were such things as mortal sins, unforgivable things. And as far as I'm concerned, a representative of the people that equivocates on the Second Amendment, that's a mortal sin. And the punishment for that is not damnation in hellfire, it's losing your job.
It should be.
It will be.
Because they were put in there to defend that right for me. And he didn't.
No.
He turned on me.
He turned absolutely on you. And he turned on everybody that owns a gun in Manatee County, everyone in Sarasota, everybody in Hillsborough County, turning around and saying, well, maybe you don't need one. Maybe you don't need one like that. That's one of the things that's always made me laugh. Is that, well, on what basis? Last time I looked, a bullet's a bullet's a bullet. How quickly they come out don't make much difference. The caliber don't make much difference. But this sense that, then what next? You can only eat kale on Tuesdays?
Right.
Where does it end? Telling me what I can do.
Well, it's like, if you want to see that, go up to New York and see all the stupid dumbass laws they got. Like, you can't have, a 32-ounce soda?
Yeah. So
why?
Buy
What if I want to be
ounces?
fat?
Yeah.
I want to be big and fat, right? And I want to drink soda all the time.
It's the American dream, right? Who doesn't want to have a guzzle as much candy as they want? The fact is that it is. You get up in the morning and you make choices. And there are other countries. I come from a country which has largely become socialized. It started with socialized medicine after the Second World War, and gradually, they took away the right to own a handgun in 1990 after one of these school shootings where a crazy guy picked up guns that he wasn't allowed to have anyway, and how then regulating that makes any difference, because it doesn't. We've seen this in Chicago, where they have very tight gun laws, and yet a tremendous amount of murders and gunplay on the streets every day. Sarasota here, just across the street, Newtown, something around 4 or 5 sounds of gunfire every night.
Yep.
I guarantee that most of those guns are illegal, and I guarantee that anything that Vern Buchanan would push down on us wouldn't affect that over there, and that puts you and me in jeopardy, and that's unacceptable. So
you can have all the gun laws in the world, right? Like Mexico's got so many friggin' gun laws, they don't even have an Olympic shooting team anymore, right? How's that working out for them? But hey, we're gonna go to a clip because they have something you mentioned you wanted earlier, so they got a clip about it.
Oh, I like to see this.
Oh, Rocket Man's on.
Is he?
Pablo.
Oh, Pablo, make us one of these things.
Here we go.
Here it is.
Ready to start. Over. This is Sam transmitting. Both pilots on the launch vessel ready to start up.
No. Oh, come on. Can you imagine?
Everybody in the Air Force is like, why does the Navy have them?
Well, I just can't imagine. I mean, that you run out of gas, you're in trouble in midair. I mean, that's...
Yeah, but you just fall in the water. They can swim.
Oh, yeah, but they're in the water right now. I was thinking more about going over walls and stuff.
Oh.
It's very cool.
Nice.
I definitely want some of that shit.
I mean, it must be some way that we can give one of those away next week. You'd end up with 1 million people watching. I mean, that is awesome. I would also pay to watch one of you guys. I mean, it's quite high ceiling. I'd like to see one of you guys experiment with that thing in here. Now, that would go viral. That's a very, very cool thing. I mean, everybody's got that fantasy or dream of flying, and that's as near as you're ever going to get. I'd like to see the video where, like I said, the power goes out and you're 15 feet off the ground. But very, very awesome. I need to know how much they are and where we can buy them.
Well, we'll work on that together. So now they got another clip. What do you guys got going on this time? Oh, the concealed flower class one?
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
You ever seen this? All right, so here's what happens, right? So I got to tell you how this works. So one night, we're in here, and Mark says, hey, I want to advertise your concealed weapons class on Facebook, and they took it down. They deleted it. So we may or may not have been indulging in some adult beverages at the time. So I said, yeah, I bet you freaking wouldn't do anything about it if it was a concealed flower class. And then 12 hours later, Mark was at Take Aim, and we were one-taking it through this video. No script, one take only, and this is what we got.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike McGowan from Veritas Training Academy. Saturday mornings, I run a concealed class. But some social medias will not let us advertise it as such. So, I've come up with a new class that I teach on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock at the Take Aim Florist Range. It is also, there are other instructors that teach it on Wednesday night at 6:30 at the Take Aim Florist Range, called the Concealed Flower Class. So, if you would like to learn how to defend yourself with a daisy because you're a pansy, or you just like to do floral arrangements, you should come to that class and you will learn things like basic floral safety. Keep your flower pointed in a safe direction. Don't point that at me. That's not a safe direction. Good job. We'll also teach you the basic components and parts of your flower. This is a stem. Those are petals. That's a leaf. Hold your flower by the stem.
Stop! Give me everything you've got.
Somebody's been flowered. Send all the flowers you have. Thank you, flowers, for saving my life. Flowers are good. In our concealed flower class, you will learn that. You will also learn which flower is best for your daily floral arrangement. Do you need a big flower to compensate? Or say, are 9 flowers good enough because science says so? So, looking forward to see you in our floral class with me Saturday morning or Julie and Tom on Wednesday night. Thank you very much, and be the best florist you can be.
I like that. That's very, very cool. But of course, there's a darker side to that. That's exactly what they would have you do.
Right.
You know, the gun with the flag coming out of it,
Yeah.
or throw in the flowers.
Can't you just ask them to go away?
Well, exactly.
Why is it your fault anyways?
Well, exactly. I mean, why are you promoting this conflict? Why not just give him your money?
That's
why
it.
not just give him...
Because they need the money more than you do, obviously.
Well, because on some level you owe them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, 150 years ago, something bad happened to somebody that they've never met, and therefore, on some level, you owe them this, whatever you've got. And if they want to, take a swing at you and scare you rigid and leave you with PTSD, that's okay too, because taking any kind of sanction against them, that makes you a bad person.
It's like this. I look at it like this. Evil people have options. All right? So, you don't want to get shot. Don't break into my house and try to hurt my family.
Sure.
That's it. I'm not doing anything to you. Don't do anything to me. Some people like the other option, and it's just...
Well, there is no option B, and I think this is something that everybody that watches this will understand, but more people need to understand. I wrote an article as a riposte to an article that a British twit called Max Hastings wrote recently, and my article that I wrote in response about Americans being gun nuts was taken up by AmmoLand. And they ran this article, and people said to me, "Oh, well, what do Brits know about guns?"
I saw that.
And I concede that I don't know anything like as much about guns as I need to know, as I'd like to know, and that's why I take an interest in everything that I read and see these days. But I do know that in Britain there are no-go areas, whatever people say, that people live in fear.
Yep.
And the kind of atrocities that can happen on the streets of Britain, frankly, unlikely to happen here. You take a significant risk here if you get out and are very aggressive and difficult with somebody. A certain percentage of people may well be carrying a weapon, and quite rightly so.
Yep.
I believe in the constitutional right to carry. That's a whole nother issue. I also strongly against the red flag laws.
Yep.
Those red flag laws are just a form of backdoor confiscation. You have an argument with your wife, a girlfriend, your neighbor. The next thing is you're red flagged.
Right.
Guess what? The people who'll be red flagged are you and me.
Yep.
It isn't going to be
No.
your school teachers or whatever else. It's going to be you.
Retired
and me.
school teacher, they're going to
I
get her.
understand that, but then she seems like she might be packing too. So she's not all school teachers are bad at making a general point that they're going to take them from you and I first.
Yep.
We're the people that they fear, and the way that they're going to coerce us or keep us quiet is take away our means to defend ourselves. All of a sudden, we're not terribly scary when they have the guns and we don't.
Right.
And so it is important, we dwell on it and say, well, is that the only thing that you can talk about? All the time you're trying to take it away,
Yeah.
you stop trying to do that. You stop trying to talk about, what was it Biden said in the Rose Garden the other day? No amendment is absolute. Well, it does say right there, shall not. Shall not be abridged. It doesn't say maybe. It doesn't say,
Right.
if things change or
Right.
if I
Later
don't
on,
like it.
you can change it.
There's no room for negotiation on it, and yet as bold as brass, because it's popular with those people. You don't need those things. I don't need those things. What he means is I don't want you to have those things because you're a lot harder to control if you have them.
Right.
Because I can't jump in your house. I can't tell you what to do if you have the ultimate sanction at your disposal. But if you don't have that, and I do,
So I try to explain to people.
I don't have any means to stop you. It wasn't about being worried about people breaking into your house. Ultimately, as we all well know, in the original form, it was about making sure that government realized that they didn't have us where they wanted us, and they do when you don't have any means to fight back. The Army has millions of guns. I don't think there's any appetite in this country for going without the ability to defend yourself. And I don't believe that any conservative elected to office in this country should ever even entertain it. So when people talk about, well, can we have some common sense gun laws? Yeah.
I got common sense.
Common sense is nonsense. For a start, it's not that common. And the other thing is that where does that stop? Who's the arbiter of what's common sense?
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, common sense is I don't point it at you unless I want to kill you. And if I choose to take that decision, there are consequences to it.
Yep.
The fact is that there are 300 million plus guns in this country, and there aren't an awful lot of people going around and shooting their neighbors. There aren't an awful lot of people terrorizing people. Most people have it there for the what-if moment. And you mentioned insurance in terms of fire drills. You talk about car insurance.
Yep.
You have these things just in case. And I have a weapon. In fact, I have more than one weapon. I have a couple of weapons in my house just in case anybody thinks that it might be fun to come in and have a chat uninvited.
Yep.
And I'm reasonably confident that if they come in without invitation, they'll be going out in a different state to which they came in. That's my right. It's our home, and we should be able to protect it.
All right. Well, they want to. What was the question you guys wanted to ask them? They want to know what your favorite city hall meeting is.
Well, actually back in the day, if you remember, my favorite City Hall meeting was back nearly 5 years ago when after the Orlando Pulse nightclub shooting and the city of Sarasota tried to enact some backdoor version of gun control in the city. And if you remember, that was an extraordinary meeting which ended with them being told that if they enacted it, because it was against the state rules and they didn't have the right to do it, that they would be personally liable. So they all wimped out like they would. But I remember Susan Chapman, the city commissioner, saying at the time, and those of you may recall this, she said, this room's full of scary people. And they're scary to her.
I think I was there.
Yeah, it was scary people. And these were her constituents. That was the arrogance that she had. That was an extraordinary meeting. It was the first time, actually, I came across Lee Williams. And
That's when that's when Mike Young broke the chair.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. Big Mike. He broke the chair. So that was a big one. Other favorite meetings I enjoyed watching. That city manager, Tom Barwin, get his marching orders last November, and I enjoyed that because I'd been pushing to see the back of that leftist for a long time. So I enjoyed that in November when he had the opportunity to resign before he got fired. So that was a long time coming. Sarasota, the city, like at a lot of municipalities, is pretty left wing, pretty liberal, pretty woke. And that's why I like going down there. You know, they hate me, you know, like cancer. I mean, I don't mind. You know, I enjoy it. You know, pretty much it's easy to make the argument because anything they say I disagree with.
Right.
And for the most part, they're wrong on almost everything.
They think they're so right.
Well, they do, and they're so patronizing.
So
cute. I enjoy, you know, I resent some stuff, you know, this deplorables thing, this idea that my knuckles are scraping along the ground and, you know, I'm so dumb. I sort of used to resent that. Now it just makes me smile.
Right.
Because that's all they got.
Right.
That I'm stupid. Well,
Right.
I don't know what to tell
They
you.
have
I'm
a guy
still
called
living and
Stupid.
breathing. And, you know, I'm still keep coming down here. And I believe we've got right on our side. And I don't just mean...
No,
you know,
I'm with you on that.
I mean moral right, not just conservative right. I think
Right.
we have moral right. I think that it doesn't matter really on some levels, some of these social things. That's a personal decision. But basic right, you know, the belief that you want to look after and support your family, that you want to educate your kids in facts as opposed to a false narrative. We were talking earlier about... terribly about guns, but talking about this racial policy that they have now, this culture where they're trying to make people feel guilty for things that the kids themselves never did.
Right.
And before they're out of second grade, ask themselves whether it's really appropriate to be white. Well, I don't know anybody who's ever been able to change that. So, you know, this critical race theory is the thin end of the wedge. I think there's a lot of things now. I was talking to the principal of Pineview School. Interestingly enough, he turned up at the gun show the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Big leftist.
Wow.
Yeah, I like Dr. Covert. He's a nice guy. My 13-year-old boy is still at Pineview. God bless him. But, you know, I raise him right. And when he comes home, I set him straight on the left.
Like, let
on
me
the
explain
leftist
to you
stuff.
what they're saying is wrong.
What they said. But Pineview in South Sarasota was the one that pushed this whole multiple gender bathroom thing. And again, it's playing with the boundaries. You know, the last year or so they've said follow the science.
Yeah.
Well, science tells us there's two genders, but they don't want to follow it when it doesn't suit them, and that's the problem. Is they want to move things around, and they want to tell you back to the Second Amendment, hey, it's okay. We really, you know, you can still have a gun. You can have maybe 6 bullets, and let's hope that you get them this time round. And then we're going to start taxing them, and then we're going to make these bullets slightly rubbery so that they've got a chance to get out alive. Where does it end?
It doesn't. It's never going to end until they're all gone, and that's it. But I'll tell you what is going to end of this show, so we need to give somebody,
Ooh, yes.
give something away.
All right. I'm going to have you draw a number and throw it at Mike.
Oh,
Please.
okay. We'll draw a number and throw my. I feel like it should be my number, but it's not.
We'll see. What's that? Rain story? I don't know. I'm too aggravated.
While they're counting. Low and to the left.
Low and to the left. 30. 30's the number. So rain story. So let me see what's happened. If I can think.
Can you grab that number? We'll put it back
What's
in.
that? No, So rain stories, right? So I don't know if I told this one on the show before, but we wanted to get this one being recorded. So what happened is one day I went out, and I think this happened like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that. I was taking a new shooter out, so I'm taking a lady out, she's going out, you know, she's in the beginning of her lessons and stuff like that. And we get out on the range and we're standing there, and like two booths down, right? I hear the guy say this. I look at the target and I was like, it's all kind of crap here, all kinds of crap there, right? Then I hear one guy says, he goes like this to the other guy. There's two guys. One guy goes, well, I'm shooting low and to the left, and you're shooting high and to the right. And you know what that means? And the other guy goes, yep, the sights are off, right? And she goes, she looks at me, I'm like, don't. And she's like, but, and I'm like, don't, like, don't. And she goes, why wouldn't you let me say anything? I'm like, because we get back in and I said, listen, here's the deal. You're not an idiot. don't try to think like one. You're just going to hurt your head. All right? So they have no friggin' clue what they're doing. They think because they have a penis and a credit card that makes them, you know, a gunfighter or whatever, right? And they don't even know what they're doing. It's the gun's fault and not everything else, and just don't. You're going to hear this crap all the time, and if you let it bother you, you're just never going to sleep. So there's your rain story. The sights are off. The sights are always friggin' off. All right. Is that who won? Well, that's nice that they set it up like that.
Chris Brady.
Brady!
All right.
All right, so you won this badass case, so give me a call.
That was what the prize was, Chris
Yes.
Brady. Well, there you go.
Is he
All right.
local?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I was going to say, because it cost
So-
you $300 to send it to
It cost me
California.
$150 to send it out to
Yeah,
Fernando
yeah,
and
exactly, yeah.
Wichita.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Never going to hear the end of that one.
You get many people from outside of the area?
We do.
We get them from
all over the country.
all different continents.
Yeah.
We get a lot of my Colombians.
Well, yeah.
Colombians, Australia, UK, Hungary, South Africa. Where else have we had them come in from? Czech.
Still have to do that map.
What's that?
Yeah.
A very special. Yeah, there's a very special person watching in North Korea.
Oh.
Wow. Well, yeah, Mr.
He likes- he
yeah,
digs
yeah,
me.
It's Kim, yeah. Well, they're all called Kim, right? And
Yeah, pretty much.
They're all called Kim.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Oh, did you want to show one of the clips? All right, so they want to show this because they want to debate me on whether revolvers are good for self-defense or not. So we're gonna watch Jerry Mikulicek here
Oh.
set the world record.
You want to film this one?
Yes, sir.
Like, first of all,
And
this is
in
in like
108-degree
1932.
heat, I believe it was, down in Mississippi in front of a very supportive audience. He did it. I mean, he did 8 rounds in 1 second on one target.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
He did 8 rounds on 4 targets in 1.06. And then he did the 6 shots, a reload, and 6 shots in 2.99 seconds.
Stand by. 2.99.
Just your average shooter.
He's just your average. Like, all people shoot revolvers like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they have to put like a heavier spring in there so they get the hammer to come back fast enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's got like, can't remember, for some reason I want to say it's a 30-pound spring in there. Get the hammer to come fast enough so that when he shoots, the hammer can move that fast.
It can get real expensive with the price of ammo these days, but I love the idea of that competitive, you know, the speed shooting type thing, not like fast draw like Casey, you know, type thing, but just very, very cool. I think I would love to see how you guys and how you
Watch him
manage
shoot.
as far as
Oh,
that
yeah.
goes. So, no, I'd love to see that. That'd be very, very cool. I mean, that guy's fantastic, but
We'll get you shooting with us.
oh yeah,
We'll show you some stuff.
I'd love to see that. It'd be cool.
All right. So, I'd like to thank Martin for being on the show.
Thank
It
you
was
for having me. It's been
very
a
great.
real pleasure. You know, we're good old boys together. I just don't sound like I came from this part of the world, but I lived here for 20 odd years, and it really feels like home, and it has done ever
Yep.
since I came here. And you guys and embracing, you know, the differences and stuff here. Like I said, I sound different, but we're all the same, and we're on the same battle here on this one.
Yep. There's a lot of good people in this state. I'll tell you what. We got a lot of good people moving here as long as they don't vote stupid.
Well, as I say, don't New York
Don't
or
New York,
California, my Florida.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right. I'd like to thank our live studio audience. Let's give it up, live studio audience.
There you go. Yes.
I guess it's retired. All the people, the crew in the control room out there talking in my ear. Our sponsors for supporting us. And most of all, everybody watching the show right now, all 6 of you, thank you very much. All right, so next week we got zip, and we're giving away one of those. You know it.
That's right.
All right, so like and share, because it counts for next week too. Chris, we'll hook you up. We'll get with you. Julie Conti, you give me a call, whatever, and we'll take care of that, getting you the case because it is pretty badass. All right, play music. Take us out.